Good evening. I guess 6:25 is maybe considered evening, even though the sun's not going to go down until 9:30. Well, the sun actually never really showed up today. I'm sure it came up because it is brighter than in the dark, but it just kind of stayed under clouds as well. I actually did really well to a certain point today. I just felt like there was such a shift over the course of yesterday and last night that I just was like, okay, this is going good. And then it just went boom. And I was like, oh man, okay, time to do the work. So in the Mayan calendar reading, I gave these words. I'm going to give them to you as well in this reading, that it's easiest to clear this stuff that's showing up for us by expanding out our self. Start at 3 feet. So if you got stuff going on, you've been triggered, go out 3 feet. If that's not good enough, go out 6 feet. If that's not good enough, go out to 12 feet. If that's not good enough, go out to 24 feet. If you need to, go out to 48. If that's not quite enough, go out beyond 48, which is 5D consciousness. And if that's not enough, then just give it up for the day. But I've never had it not be enough when I get out beyond 48 feet. But usually it's far enough for me, 6 feet. That's enough for me to be able to release these energetics that are showing up. Okay, I'd suggest you state these words out loud with me. I'm going to try to make this video less than the 32 minutes that the Mayan calendar reading was. It was like a little tiny bit of Mayan calendar and a whole bunch of stuff. But good stuff. We cleared a lot of stuff, so you might want to watch it. And like and subscribe, because it does something. I don't know what it does, but it does, if you do. And you also get my videos, and if I send too many, you can just unlike or unsubscribe or just like, let me go. Just no more. But a lot of people seem to be like working their stuff, through these videos. And that was the intent of them, to help you work your stuff, clear your stuff. All right, so these words. I connect with my deep self. While you're saying that out loud, feel yourself do that. Feel how lovely it is to connect to your deep self. I connect to my higher self. Feel what happens when you do that. I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. Notice what happens when you do that. I open myself to the healing power of the One. Notice what you notice when you do that. I choose to let go of anything not useful to me now. Notice what happens when you do that. And if you choose to work with the Hathors, you just say, I choose to work with the Hathors. And notice what happens when you do that. Okay, that's all you need to do. Start off your day, finish your day, do it throughout the day. Just repeat those words until it becomes a habit, and life changes. Okay, we got one card today for our tarot reading, and that card was asking for help from the universe in what would be most useful for us to be working with today. And we got the universe card, which is like the 21 of trumps. I'm going to read you this poem that I read yesterday at the lighthouse. It was written by the lighthouse keeper, Hans Skor. This was his final log entry. I don't know if he retired or if he passed away after this log entry, but it was June 30th, 1922. So it will have been 100 years ago. It was 100 years ago, 2 years ago. now it's going to be 102 years this June, that Hans Skor wrote in his log entry these words: "Sail to joy and fortune, with fair wind and free. Let love and friendship guard you, as Neptune guards the sea." That really moved me when I read it, and it has moved me every time I've read it. So the words from Scriabin, and so I didn't do a check on who Scriabin is, but Scriabin apparently wrote these words because they're not in quotation mark. If he spoke them, then they'd be in quotation mark, but they're not. So it's just his written words are these: "The universe resounds with the joyful cry, I am." If you watch the Mayan calendar reading, you'll get to hear a bit about the feeling of difficulty I had through part of this day today. I love the words of what the universe card, the 21, which is the last card of, there's 22 major arcanas, but the first major arcana is 0, and that's the Fool. And then it goes 1 through 21. So there's 22 major arcanas in numbers, but the first of the major arcana is the Fool. But the 21st card, it's like in the Mayan calendar, there are the 13 tones, the lunar tones that make up the 13 months. In the tarot, there are the 21 tones of creation, the last one being the universe. And the universe is the principle of totality, individuation, and wholeness. So totality, individuation, and wholeness. This just lights my fire, these words. Especially when I feel these words, which I'm doing right now. And you might feel them because I'm feeling them, and you're connecting to my words, and you're going like, whoa. The principle of totality, individuation, wholeness. Whew. We're just a fractal of this whole cosmic action. We're a fractal of it. We contain all of it. The dancing figure holds a sickle in the card. I think I showed it to you, but here it is again. The dancing figure holds a sickle, returning it back to the original vision of life force symbolized by the Egyptian Eye of Horus. The Eastern equivalent to this figure is Siva, dancing in a ring of fire on the head of a dwarfed figure. Christianity holds this symbol as the Virgin Mary who places her foot firmly on the serpent's head and body. Regardless of cross-cultural interpretations, this figure is essentially hermaphrodite. I think holding the balance of male and female inside. Equally dynamic and magnetic simultaneously, just like a magnet. Put the two polar ends together and woof, they push away. You switch them, they pull together, and they still have that pull. And that is part of what we're doing, is holding the whole of the pole. Polarity is what makes the world go round. Polarization is what tears it down. Yet, we want to hold even the polarization, however you want to put it, Democrats and Republicans, angels and devils, light and dark, good and bad, whatever it is that are these opposites, holding these opposites in our loving embrace. And love is what changes everything. So if we can just be in that place of love and acceptance, things are going to change. We're just holding that for the whole world. And it's not as hard as we've made it seem. Okay. The universe represents the triumph of negation. I don't know what that means, but it's going to be something we can think about. The triumph of negation. And the experience of nirvana or union with multiple parts of self. It symbolizes a unity of positive and negative forces, both internally and externally. The universe represents our capacity to not only to be at home in the external world, but also it represents our ability to be at home within ourselves. And it talks about the 4 animals on the card and the corners of the card that represent the 4 elements. So the earth is represented by Taurus the bull, fire is represented by Leo the lion, water is represented by Scorpio the bird, so it goes from the scorpion to the eagle, Scorpio the bird. And air is represented by Aquarius, the human face. These animals represent what it's like to be in our element or out of our element. It's important in order to fully express our natures that we express ourselves physically, Taurus, spiritually and creatively, Leo, emotionally, Scorpio, and mentally, Aquarius. And supposedly we're moving into this age of Aquarius. At different times in your life, you will be very ecologically minded and deeply concerned about the earth and very active in making the universe a better place in which to live. You may experience yourself questioning the origins of the universe as a whole or contributing towards theories, projects, and services that assist universal understanding. Okay, you will find it difficult to be limited, restricted, or restrained in any way. And this is if you have the universe as a lifetime symbol. Now, I did just a little bit of work with the tarot book today. I wanted to know, and I had already, done the numbers and found out that my number of this lifetime was 22. And if the number of, and it's you're adding up your month, day, and year of your birth, whatever numbers that adds up to, if it's kind of 21 or less, then if it's 21, then you have the universe card. If it's 22, then it adds to 4 and it adds to 0. So it's either 2 plus 2 equals 4, which makes me, my number is 22, which makes my soul card for this lifetime the Emperor card. And it makes my personality card for this lifetime the Fool. And so even though I may appear to be the Fool, and I appear to myself to be the Fool, I also, for a life card, soul card, get to be an emperor, get to be a teacher, get to be one that has some knowledge and shares that knowledge. That was fun to learn. That is about it. The universe card, it seems great. We did this in 15 minutes. And so, those of you who perceive that there is time may perceive that you have enough time to actually watch that, as opposed to the 30-some minute. But the 30-some minute reading of the Mayan calendar is a good video. I haven't watched it yet, but I participated in making it. And I found it to be very useful. I noticed some things that were happening that were affecting me. So oftentimes my teachers are guiding me in these videos so that they actually get to speak to you and me at the same time. My perception of myself is I'm a good student. And also when I'm connected to my instruction units, I'm a good teacher. If I'm listening and bringing in information from that higher realm, I feel it can be very useful information. I don't very often just go on and on and on about things that aren't helping change. If I'm going on and on, more than likely they're helping some shift in consciousness. And these videos affect me, even though I've been doing this work for 73 years. I'm still affected by every one of these videos that are made through me. All right, that's it. You just have a really lovely last 2 days of the month of liberation, and look forward to the month of cooperation that starts on Thursday. It should be a good month, and we should see good changes take place because of our change in consciousness, that we're perceiving the world differently, we're connecting to our higher consciousness, and that's affecting the world and our experience of it. Namaskar.